What we're looking at here is a basement stairway. It looks like it has 1 by 12 stair treads. This isn't uncommon. And this video is a response to an email I received. Someone asked a question, how they could strengthen up the stairway. And I thought, what the heck, professional might know how to do that. But I tried to create a couple of things that you could do if you didn't have a lot of knowledge about stair building. So hope this adds some value to do-it-yourselfers or people who don't work in the field all the time. And I guess I should say even for people who do work in the field all the time. So let's just take a look at the stairway. 1 by 12 stair treads. This isn't uncommon for old basement stairways. And they're usually, whether they're sitting on top of a stringer or notched into a closed stringer. This system, I think, will work for both methods. So again, just kind of taking a look at the stairway, give you an idea how it might be constructed. And now let's take a look at a few things we can do to make them a little stronger. But before we do that, let's take a look at something I don't recommend doing, and hopefully it makes sense. If you do have a stairway like this, you can actually put a riser on the front of it and then screw it or nail it, staple it into the tread. The only problem I would have with this is that the top surface right here would need to be level with this surface, and that's not always going to be easy to do. If you don't do it, you're going to create a safety hazard. Someone walking down the stair, their shoe or their feet could actually get caught on this lip if it's sticking above the tread. So this is a method I do not recommend, like I said, because you're going to be creating a safety hazard. On the other hand, something like this, if you have the tread that overhangs a little bit, something like this would probably work. And you're going to find where you might have a tread that sticks a ½ inch out, might protrude an inch past your stair stringer. It might not protrude past it at all. So these methods might or might not work. So you might end up with something where if it protrudes out an inch, then you put a 3/4 inch piece of plywood on it and as a riser, which would be something like this. And then, of course, the nosing sticks out 1/4 inch past the 3/4 inch riser. Something like that's going to be fine. If you have something that's only sticking out 1/2 inch or 1/4 inch, I wouldn't even bother trying to use this method. A 1/2 inch piece of plywood might provide you with enough support for this. You can try that if it's only protruding out 1/2 inch. But I don't suggest having the riser, the face of the riser, extending past the face of the nosing. It's okay for the nosing to stick past the riser, but I don't recommend you having the face of the riser sticking past the tread. Now here's something I came up with to strengthen the stairway, and I think it's relatively easy to do. This is actually the reason why I'm making the video. I've never seen anybody do this before, but sometimes if you've built enough stuff like I have, you're going to be able to think outside the box and come up with some new stuff. Where something I would have done something like this at similar to it to make other types of repairs. Let's go ahead and take a look at, you're basically just going to be building a wall with a 2x4 to support the tread. Now you can always use a 2x6 if you want something a little wider, or a 2x8. I'm going to leave that up to you, but this method right here saves you from trying to figure out how to cut a stair stringer. So if you're in a basement, something like this would probably be fine. You're going to have the stairway coming down, and you're just going to lose a little bit of storage space underneath the stairway if you're actually using it for storage space. So, and remember, this method is just something I'm throwing out there. It might not work for everyone. At the bottom, you're going to need to cut a block. I mean, you could always use a 2x4 like you're using here and put it under the tread. That would work fine. I mean, you might have stair stringers that are sitting on the concrete, and if that's the case, you're just going to extend the bottom wall framing plate into this area. Let's give you a closer look here of what I'm talking about. Maybe you might need to cut a 2x6 or a 2x8, something like this, if you're going to do this. If not, use one of these. Something like this is fine. There's the wall. Give you a closer look there. Just cut the 2x4s. You can measure this. It's not going to be difficult. Have a base plate. Attach the bottom of the framing with screws or nails to the base plate. And then you could drive nails or use screws to attach the tread to the top of the 2x4. So relatively easy. I don't see this as something that's complicated, and I think it might solve your problem. It's just a wall, nice straight line. And there you have it. One more thing, though. I always got to have one more thing to show you, so let's take a look at that. Okay, another thing you can do if you're looking for a little more strength would be to install a 2x4 or a 1x6, something. I'll leave it up to you. Attach it to the wall studs. And this, of course, would really give you some extra support. It would be going the whole length of the underside of the tread. It would provide you with the same type of support a stair stringer would. The stair stringer is fully supporting the underside of the tread. Something like this would do the same. However, in the center, I recommend cutting the block back at an angle like I have it drawn in the illustration here to prevent, a lot of times people, their feet will actually extend past the step. Let me go a little farther. You know, a lot of times when you're walking up the stairway, if you have smaller feet, this might not be the problem. You have larger feet, the front of your shoe will usually stick past this area. As you drag your shoe up to step on the next step, it could actually get caught on this board if it's flat. So I recommend doing this. And you could always move this board back an inch if you wanted to, or a half inch. Move it back a half inch, put an angle on it, something like that, if you think this is going to be a problem. So again, something like this isn't that difficult. You build your wall and then you add these additional supports. And no, I don't think you need to put one on both sides. One on one side will be fine. You don't need to have one on the right side, one on the left side. And then you would simply use screws or nails to attach the tread to the new support board that you have there. And that's it for the video. I got a couple more ideas. I'll make them later on, who knows when. I wanted to get this video done for the person who asked the question. And I hope it helps. If it does, hit the old thumbs up button. And don't forget to watch more videos like these to increase your knowledge about construction and home repairs.